Welcome, one and all. I'm what you need. You watching my channel. If you like what you've seen, you can like, share, subscribe. You can also donate via PayPal. The link is in the chat section as well as in the description. We are talking about today, Mr. I say Mr. I put Mr. on his name. Mr. Tank Davis. He's moving now like he's this big bad guy coming at everybody left, right, center. We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about Inoue's performance against Luis Neri that happened yesterday. We'll also talk about the Saudis, man. The Saudis be doing things. I mispronounced. I misspelled the word Saudi. Saudi in boxing, and we'll also talk about some more topics as you guys see fit. Don't forget you can talk in the chat section. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. What you need in the building. So, first and foremost, let's have a look at this. Yo. So, Mr. Michael Benson published this on Twitter. Of course, there's the footage as well, which we can also look at. But Mr. Michael Benson, he published this on Twitter. It said, Gervonta Davis is seemingly attempting to pull up on Devin Haney in person today. Took a picture with Haney's truck. Said, I made you and your team dip out. That's Tank's claim. Y'all must have seen the video footage, both of Tank inside of a club as he's kind of hopping from one leg to the next, talking about I'm on your side. And then the other one was where was a confrontation in the parking lot as Devin's about to leave to go into his car. And Tank is there, but it seems as though Tank is going at Devin's team. He ain't really making facial contact with Devin at all. And Devin's calling him a bitch. He says, you are a bitch ass nigga. And then Tank turns and watches Devin. Now, while all of this is going on, we also have Ryan Garcia in the background popping dirty for 2 PEDs, norandrosterone, which is a metabolite of nandrolone, sorry, my bad, and also popping dirty for ostarine. Okay, both build strength, they build reflexes. Ostarine is more, it's like an anabolic steroid, but it's not. It's a SARM. And what it basically does is, again, it builds muscle. It keeps muscle tone when you're losing weight. So your muscles still kind of hold together. And also it builds your reflexes, everything else, So Ryan Garcia be walking around like a chemical lab. Now, allegedly, Ryan Garcia supposedly beat, well, it's not allegedly. Right now, legally speaking, Ryan Garcia has a W over Devin Haney. Devin Haney suffering a defeat, having 3 knockdowns by Ryan Garcia. As we all know, also Devin Haney, it was a close fight. I scored at 112 in spite of the knockdowns because Devin Haney won more rounds. But having said that, Ryan Garcia came off of this spectacular win over Devin Haney. And now we see Gervonta Tank Davis step into Devin Haney. All those years when Devin Haney was calling Gervonta Tank Davis out, he wasn't stepping to Devin Haney. So what makes the difference here? Why is he now trying to roll up on Devin? Why is he now trying to press Devin? I'm going to tell you several different reasons why that is so, and we will get to that as well. All right, so I'm what you need. You watching my channel. If you like what you're seeing, you can like, share, subscribe, and don't forget you can donate via PayPal. The link is in the chat and the description. Let's get into why that is so. So the real reason is, one, Devin Haney is now money. Devin Haney is now money. Shout out, by the way, to Restore the Snyderverse, and Henry Cavill's Superman is still the #1 trending hashtag out there. Henry Cavill's Superman, as well as Man of Steel. It's crazy, man. The Snyderverse has been out of commission since 2017. Kind of popped up on the scene with Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021. And this thing's still getting traction to this day. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Anyways, back to what I was saying about boxing. So, yeah, Gervonta Tank Davis, he rolled up on Devin Haney. I'm not going to show you guys footage on any of this because I feel like, I'm just not going to do that. You guys can do your homework on that. But why is Gervonta Tank Davis suddenly? Because Devin Haney is now a name in boxing. Devin Haney is now a money-making name in boxing. Devin Haney pulled in over $35 million off his fight with Ryan Garcia, who supposedly raked in $50 million. I was listening to Lonnie B, aka Lionel Thompson, saying to hurt these guys, you got to go to their wallets. Meaning, Ryan Garcia cheated, and for that he gets $50 million. No, man. And this is where I hope that Devin Haney evens the score by suing this motherfucker for the 20, 30 million. Take away 20, 30 million from him because he cheated, and Devin Haney should claim damages and permanent damage to his brain cells and his health, to his mental well-being, whether he's mentally stable or not. I know he's a strong mental person, but that's not the point. Because you should claim those damages because, one, this guy wasn't fighting you on an even playing field, which means he violated the contract, which means going into the ring, none of the stuff was valid. Therefore, you can press assault charges on this dude because he didn't follow the rules. Now, if you follow the rules, let me say something. When I advocated for Ryan Garcia playing the game dirty, I was not talking about cheating like that. Okay, that what Ryan Garcia did is okay. So if you are rough and rugged inside of there, you're breaking the Marcus of Queensberry rules inside of the ring, it's very unlikely you'll kill somebody in the ring because y'all came in on a level playing field. Y'all came in the same weight. Y'all, more or less, the abilities you have is what is on display. When you go and you cheat outside the ring, that is, I'm prepping to be a welterweight. I'm prepping not just to be a welterweight, but a doped up welterweight. What you are actually doing is dangerous to the well-being of your opponent, literally. Like the damages your opponent take from a fight where a doped up welterweight is fighting a super lightweight. Y'all in two different weight classes, in other words. And not only that, but this dude doped up, so he's an enhanced version of himself, meaning he's now somebody, even though he's going to harm his body in the long term, but an enhanced version of himself in the sense that he might be a welterweight, but he's not carrying welterweight power, right? And I'm not talking about, people say, well, Tank hit like a heavyweight. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about you are welterweight, homie. You are welterweight. You are full-fledged welterweight. There are hard-hitting welterweights, like Jerome Ennis is a hard-hitting welterweight. You got guys like Terrence Crawford was a hard-hitting welterweight, right? You could be a hard-hitting welterweight, but you are welterweight. Meaning, yeah, you might have exceptional power for a welterweight, but you are welterweight. This motherfucker is taking like middleweight, super middleweight power into the ring against Devin Haney. That's what I'm talking about. By doping, microdosing, and doping, what you're doing is you making yourself stronger than you would normally be. You way stronger than you normally be. You understand what I'm saying? And that is cheating. That's straight up cheating. Right? So Ryan already was a knockout artist, right? He already had some power and speed. But now you take that to the next level. That's why Devin Haney got dropped 3 times. In this fight, Devin Haney, if the playing field was equal, there's no way in hell Devin Haney getting dropped 3 times. It wasn't never going to happen. And Ryan knew this. He would have gotten hit with the left hook, but it wouldn't look as marked as it did. People are saying, oh, he couldn't avoid the left hook all night. No, it's because how marked Devin Haney, his reaction to getting hit with the left hook. That's what y'all were seeing every single left hook that was landing because Ryan, the impact the left hooks that were having on Devin Haney was substantial. Devin Haney gets hit with all kinds of things in fights. All right. He's not especially with his more aggressive style. He gets hit with stuff, but he can absorb it. He can handle it because it's an even playing field. But when the playing field's not even, in the case of this fight, the playing field wasn't even. So what happened is Ryan's shots had an effect on Devin, and that's why he even dropped him 3 times. It's not Devin was missing. The hook was missing Devin most of the times, most of the night. Devin was getting out of the way of most of those shots. Otherwise, Devin wouldn't have survived. He would have died in that ring, or he'd have been knocked out. No, Devin knows what to do when he gets hit and all of that. But the problem with it is not only his aggressive style, he could have boxed Ryan and not get touched at all. But it wasn't just his aggressive style. It was the fact that he definitely couldn't take those punches because those punches were not, first of all, he was like okay, if Ryan's hitting you like as a middleweight, right? He's punching like a middleweight. You're a junior lightweight, right? You're a junior lightweight. Think about this for a second. Your junior lightweight getting hit by a middleweight. Okay, that means this guy is like 1, 2, 3 weight classes up from you. It's like if Devin jumped all the way up to middleweight and fight a middleweight, right? Now he didn't respect Ryan's power like he should have because he was dog walking him a lot in the fight. But had he respect Ryan's power a little bit more, he might have actually won that fight. But what y'all got to understand is the fighter he fought was a guy who was on shit. So he had the strength and power like of a middleweight. This is why in the clinch, Devin couldn't get out of Ryan's clinches. When Ryan clinched Devin couldn't do nothing because Ryan was like much, much stronger than Devin, period. Okay, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. The fact that Devin even buckled Ryan in the 3rd round, amazing. So the performance Devin put on, whether Devin realizes it or anybody realizes, and that's why Conor McGregor was like in awe, is a performance that is a hell of a performance. You know, because you're fighting a guy he outpowers you by a lot. He's way stronger than you because he cheated. So having said that, we already know this fight going to be a no contest. No matter what Ryan does, there were drugs in the system. It's going to be ruled a no contest. So it's not going to be kept on Devin Haney's record. So ultimately, in the end, Ryan didn't win nothing. But the thing about it is, Devin Haney needs to press charges against Ryan Garcia. You don't give a cheater another chance to cheat on. You just don't. And Devin said Ryan's character showed he's a cheater. And for a moment in time, Ryan fooled everybody. I mean, this dude fooled everybody, right? He fooled me because I was thinking, all right, well, okay. So you came in on overweight. Okay, but still you won that fight fair and square. You know what I'm saying? You cheated on the weight in a way, but Devin agreed to it. So fair is fair. You went in there, but you cheated, but it was accepted. You know, Devin said, okay, this is what we're dealing with. And he went and went back. But the part now you dirty cheat because you was actually doping. He's actually doping, which is against all the rules. You know, universally it's a dangerous thing to do. So when I saw this, I was like, man. So this dude, he lost all credibility. You know, it's one thing to have a game plan, but it's another thing when you don't even believe in yourself that you could beat this guy on an even playing field. So you had to cheat like that. So I can't give Ryan no credit for that performance. We could give the drugs credit, but we can't give him. And then on top of that, you know, people behaving like, you know, this dude, he good. No, he not good. And Devin need to sue him. No, seriously, they need to sue him for damages. Sue him. And sue him sweetly for damages. And of course, the B samples will come out once he's proven to be dirty. You know, they're gonna look to see if it's intentional or not. But ultimately, in the end, if he can't get an alibi, it's intentional. He'd be suspended. And once he gets suspended, man, I mean, Devin and Damon probably filed in the case already, but they need to sue this motherfucker for almost every cent he got. Sue him and let that be like a precedent. So if you move, and I know Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy, they're gonna get sued too because all the people who put bets on the fight and lost money on that fight due to the betting line, or they could sue Golden Boy and they could sue all the authorities and people involved. So it could get real messy real fast. Real messy real fast. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that all turns out. But ultimately, in the end, I don't think Devin Haney should rematch Ryan Garcia ever. Now, having said that, Tank is rolling up on Devin. I don't know if Tank know what he doing, because homie, all you doing when you roll up on Devin is you just making that fight possible. So if you just backing down, because Devin's much bigger than Tank. He's much bigger. Visibly, you can see Tank's rolling up in there and chirping and shit. Y'all should see the video outside the parking lot, how big Devin is. and Devin be just talking straight to Tank, and Tank ain't even watching him. You know what I mean? Because Tank's like really small compared to Devin. Devin's a much bigger guy, a much stronger guy. Uh, Tank might want to put on a catch weight. Ain't be no fucking catch weights. Right? Ryan pulled off that shit against Devin. Devin should have never engaged him on a catch weight. It's either we fight a welterweight or we fight a super light. That's what Devin should have done. Um, or no fight. He should have just said that. But it is what it is. Tank, no catch weight for Tank. You coming up to 140 or you staying at 135. But it should be no catch weights. Devin should be able to come in 140, defend his title. Tank should be fighting for Devin's title if that's what Tank want. If you want that smoke, if you want that work, Tank, well, Tank trying to promote a fight. Now, Tank seeing dollar signs, so he can't lose out. Even if he loses, he gonna make some money off this fight because Devin, 35 million, y'all, plus. Devin wrote in 35 million plus, probably to make even more money after the lawsuit is done. Oh man, Devin be raking in that cash. He suddenly become a cash cow off of Ryan, and after that performance, and Devin now bringing all these exciting fights, and some people were satisfied that they saw Devin get beat. You know what I mean? Even though it's not going to be on his record, but it'll be, he have taken some damage. It's taking some wear and tear on him. So he gonna check himself, make sure he all right and everything before his next fight. Now, some people saying that Devin, he got to wait like a month, 6 months. I mean, a year, 6 months before he fight again. Nope, he doesn't have to wait that long. I think he has a mandatory defense against Sandor Martin coming up, which he'll have to do. And I think that's going to be in the next 2-3 months. He's suspended for the moment. I believe he's suspended from boxing for the knockdown. So he probably have to wait minimum 3 months if his CT and everything show up. He's very functional. He's fine. We've seen him a number of times. It's just emotionally and psychologically, he need to make sure he's on point. And he looks like a very strong-minded guy anyway. But I believe that incident it kind of fucked him up in the head. I think so. I think it fucked him up in the head a little bit because, he was wondering how this guy beat me like that. He probably was thinking that. And then now he's looking back and he's saying he knows he made certain mistakes. He knows what kind of fight he was fighting. But I believe he doubted himself a little bit, after that fight. And now to find out that this dude was cheating, now he understands why that happened. And so he's a bit fucked up still in the head, I believe. But I do think that in spite of that, I think he's strong-minded enough to know, all right, the show goes on. We learned something. We learned this bitter story, this bitter picture. I make sure I handle business on this. Make sure this guy gets sued up the wazoo for that. Make sure I got my details down pat. Make sure I got all my data and information. I would keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? So I could see, for example, Tank versus Devin happening next year in 2025 after he defends against Sandor Martin, maybe even the end of this year, because Devin does fight in November, generally speaking. So if they can get that happening the end of this year or the beginning of next year, I could see that fight happening. So Tank versus Devin, that's a fight that everybody wants to see. And Devin's now so high profile, and he's been raking in that kind of money. He's been in a lot of exciting fights of late. Whether he won, lost, or draw or no contest, he's been in some exciting fights. So that would be definitely it's time for Tank to face Devin. But Tank will want to dictate certain terms, and Devin is not going to have it. When it comes to weight, not going to happen. They'll talk about rehydration clause, not going to happen. You coming up to 140, you're going to face me for a 140-pound title. The limit is 140 pounds. If I can't make 140 pounds, then I get stripped. You know what I mean? So that's the limit. Now, as to the other things, the pay-per-view, how it's divided, all of that shit, that's now where Tank can have some sway, because Ryan had sway. So, and Tank's better than Ryan. So I could see where Tank gets split something like, 60-40. I could see 60-40 happening. I could see Tank getting the majority of the split. I could see that happen, but I don't see I think certain things are just not negotiable. Negotiable, like weight, that ain't negotiable. You know what I mean? There ain't gonna be no catch weight. Devin's not no catch weight, dude. There ain't gonna be no certain things just not negotiable. There ain't gonna be no rehydration clause. None of that. You going to happen in this fight. But what could happen in this fight? What would happen in this fight I do believe Tank will get the majority of the money. This is if Tank can get past Frank Martin. And I'm going to say this straight up. Because I don't trust Derrick James camp. Tank need to watch out to make sure Frank Martin not doping. And let me tell y'all something. Let's realize something. Let's realize something real serious here. This is very serious. All right? VADA, which is like a hawk. It's an anti-doping association. Ryan almost got past VADA, y'all. There was VADA testing. And this motherfucker almost got past VADA. So that means that, and VADA's doing the best it can. That means that these motherfuckers, they can still almost avoid testing doping, anti-doping association tests. And I'll tell you why this is so in boxing, and this is a very important point. We're 20 minutes in. It's because you got to understand something, right? In boxing today, dudes don't be tested all year round. Randomly. They don't get tested all year round. So, and even if they do, the intervals between these randomized tests are still quite large enough for them to be microdosing in between fights, building up the strength, and then coming into the fights, cycling off of what they have. Ryan just so happened, he might have cycled off, but the residues was caught in the fatty tissues, and so that's why he got caught. You understand what I'm saying? So, and you know, VADA be working hard. You know what I'm saying? It ain't something, no supplement that Ryan took that caused that to happen. Particularly the ashwagandha, right? So that bullshit that Ryan don't fly. He made a threat to VADA, how he gonna sue them, and then he took it back. Just like how he had made a threat to the New York State Athletic Commission, you know, for him to come in for his sanity, and then he did do the test. So what I'm saying is, you know, Ryan be talking crazy, he be talking reckless, and he gonna have to answer for all those things. Okay, and it's about time we find out what happened with the B samples. The B samples should come in, but the scary part is you could get VADA tested. Guys, athletes could be VADA tested straight through, and they still microdosing inside of their PEDs, and they get away. You know what I mean? Just saying. So you have to look at the performances of the athletes, and you got to wonder, is this guy doping or not? I listened to Lionel Thompson talk about, you know, this weird power that these guys have, a natural power. Like, you know, you feel the punch and you feel the weight of the punch, and you're like, something wrong here. Because, you know, these PEDs affect bone density. So a guy, for example, in a weight class, you know, different people have different bone densities, but, you know, the bigger you get is the more, you know, the bigger and stronger you are, and the punches are hit harder. And if you have, you know, a certain bone density, the punch feels a certain way. And I feel like guys like Lionel Thompson, even Devin Haney, they saying something different about these punches because the bone density is much more dense. Like Ryan Garcia, you can see his bone density is increased. And that's because, again, of the anabolic steroid nandrolone that he be taking, synthetic version of it, as well as synthetic testosterone. It will do that. Globally, it affects all organs, including the heart muscle. And that's why guys get heart attacks later on using this stuff. It has adverse effects on the body because it wasn't made to be used like that in those concentrations. Same thing with ostarine. People talking the adverse effects of ostarine when you microdosing like that, introducing more ostarine into the body than the body naturally has for natural hormones that actually deal with that. You're making the body behave abnormally than it would normally do. You're making it produce things more than it needed to produce. And so that imbalance is what these guys feel when they feel the punches. That's why Devin said there was something about Ryan punches that was different. Just like how, you know, my boy Lionel Thompson said there was something about, you know, Kovalov punches that was different. And he talked about David Benavidez and how, you know, he believes that David Benavidez is also on something because David Benavidez obviously failed the drug test. And I think the Triple G, I'll be honest with y'all, I think he was on something as well. You know what I mean? All them guys was on something. Something about them, man, that make you feel like something different about this dude. You know what I'm saying? RJ Jenkins, what's up in the building? RJ Jenkins saying, yo, as he coming up in the building. And we need to talk a little bit more about PEDs in boxing. Lionel Thompson saying he just want an equal playing field. If the man using PEDs, let me know so I can use PEDs too. And the best PED user come out on top. Nah, there's a problem with that. I'm gonna tell you what it is. The problem is that PEDs, especially synthetic drugs, now naturally occurring substances is different, but PEDs, I'm talking about performance enhancers, which have been synthesized in the lab. The problem with these things is, depending on the dosage, see, I can tell you all a bit because I've come from a biochemical and biomedical background, right? The doses of drugs, a problem with drug toxicity is dosage. So toxicity has to do with the dosage that you use. So, for example, a hormone like testosterone, for example, the steroid testosterone, okay, which is an androgen. Testosterone used for testosterone therapy, where some people have, low testosterone levels because of cancers, because of tumors, because of impediments um, in their um, in their oh shit, what the fuck you call it? But anyway, your hormones, right? They're imbalanced. You have different hormone levels. Women have hot flashes and stuff because again, they start to drop in estrogen levels and stuff like that. When you have hormonal imbalance, you use these treatments. Now, if I am, for example, a doctor and I have to treat somebody and I'm treating them with these hormones, let's say testosterone, for example, I have to know the dosage to treat the patient at. And I'm gonna tell you something about hormones, steroids particularly. Steroids always have an adverse effect on people. People who have lupus, for example, compromised situations, and you use anti-inflammatories, prostaglandins, and you use hormones like steroids. When you use these things, they help with anti-inflammatory response and with inflammation, but there is a caveat to that. In response to handling inflammation, it also leads to all kinds of side effects which are harmful to the human body. Let's steroids. Okay, steroids like, for example, testosterone, like human growth hormone and testosterone. These two, they cause global multiplication of organs. So, for example, you can have hypertrophy of the liver. You can have hypertrophy of the cardiac, the heart muscle. You can have hypertrophy of you can have a hypertrophy of your intestinal areas, such as the appendix and the spleen area. Hypertrophies and the kidneys. Hypertrophy leads to more strain on the body, less nutrient supplying to these glands. So you have people who, for example, have had extensive steroid therapy, like bodybuilders, like Flojo. Y'all remember Flojo? These people die of heart attacks, or they are more susceptible to heart attacks because the system is under so much pressure because you have so much muscle that developed that the body cannot maintain. And especially when you are not increasing the oxygen supply. And again, you have PEDs that increase oxygen supply. In fact, when any athlete is using a PED, there are several different things they have to use. When they're using a PED, they have to have masking agents. Two, they need to have supplemental PEDs to that PED to facilitate the development and expansion of the body. For example, if I'm using testosterone or human growth hormone, HGH, I also have to get more oxygenated, which will require me to centrifuge down the red blood cells of my blood on occasion. And then I get it exposed to oxygen. And then from there on in, I put it back in my body. So I have to have a bigger oxygen debt than I would normally have, my body could normally support. So you have to understand that's why a lot of these guys, they have what we call a cocktail of PEDs that they use. That's why when Ryan Garcia got caught in this case, there are two other PEDs that are with him, and I would argue that he was actually doping mostly synthetic testosterone. He was microdosing it, but I believe his major PED was synthetic testosterone. Nandrolone usually accompanies synthetic testosterone, and ostarine is usually an impurity that comes when guys they cook the synthetic testosterone, but they didn't like the flask or whatever they're using to cook it. It has these sediments or residues of some other thing that they was cooking in there, like ostarine, for example. So a lot of people say, well, the supplements this guy got, he got probably got it from. Well, the fact that the residues would have been gotten in the fatty tissue, it means one, he'd been using ostarine for a while. Two, he'd been using synthetic testosterone for a while, because it's only when he was losing weight and then rehydrating that this was detected, which means sediments over time. This is how we know it's over time. Sediments over time stayed inside the fatty tissue, retain some of this. And this is another thing, which was so cool, because in a way, what Vada did and the timing of what they did showed me how intelligent these people are, that they know at certain points in time you can catch these guys, these dopers, because one thing about the body, it keeps a record of everything, which means even when you're cycling out, you're cycling off of a PED, right? You get most of the PED out. Because Ryan didn't use, because he used masking agents, like for example, muscarine and nandrolone and some other masking agent. What the VADA usually gets, they get the masking agents. They will discover the masking agents. They will not necessarily discover the synthetic testosterone, for example. All right. They'll get the masking agents or the metabolites off of the masking agents. You understand? So that's what happened in the case of here. And he popped dirty for 2, which showed me that he was not only using this thing over extensive period of time, but he was using a batch of it that had these other cocktail of substances in there in significant amounts that it would end up being as a residue. You get the metabolite residues that come down. And the reason why it was in his urine was because both after the fight and also before the fight was because they got flushed out of the system, and he couldn't get them out of the system. Like they was flushing out continuously. So he's trying to cycle it out. He was trying to cycle this shit out. You understand what I'm saying? But it still stayed there because some of the residues were still in the fatty tissue. So as he was losing the weight, the fatty tissue gave up these compounds. They didn't attach to it, and they flushed out. So pretty much, and with small amounts, but still it was detectable because of the spectrographs or the spectrometers that they were using was very sensitive to these signature things. They had to have highly sensitive equipment to do that. And so they was able to pick it up. That's how they picked him up. And that's how they got his ass. So kudos to Vada. Kudos to Vada on that. RJ Jenkins in the building. RJ Jenkins says he's on something. That's why he doesn't want to fight nowhere other than Japan. Yes, Inoue. Yeah. I feel something. Yeah. Because he got knocked down by Luis Neri. He got caught flush, ninja. Flush. I remember Nonito today broke his eye orbital, and this motherfucker got it back up and started fighting. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, not only is his punch resistance extremely high, you know, but the other point is this motherfucker's recovery is ridiculous, and his power is ridiculous. And I'm like, nah, something's wrong here. You know what I'm saying? RJ Jenkins says Inoue. RJ Jenkins says that's true. Yeah, man, something not right with Inoue. He just too tough. He way too tough. He remind me of Triple G. You know, he remind me of even Canelo. Canelo's really tough. Like I don't see nobody knocking out Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So there's something weird about it. That's all I'm saying. There's something fishy about it. And you say he mostly fight in Japan. Yeah, you could tell. You could kind of tell the guys. You know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this. I don't know if Inoue's taking anything, but I feel like he is. I suspect that. I can't prove it, right? But all these guys who you find that there's something extra, like unhumanly about them. There's something just kind of, you can't place your finger on it. The reaction times is way fast. You know, even with Floyd had a ridiculous reaction time, and I'm like, all right, I know he twitchy. You know, I know he's a twitchy dude. I seen him. He twitchy, right? He Mosley, all them guys twitchy. But this motherfucker super twitchy. You know what I mean? And I always wondered about that, you know? Anyways, I don't know if he used some natural supplement or nothing because he never caught dirty, but I'm just saying. And Floyd didn't have that power, though. He had power, but he didn't have that kind of power. Like Inoue got like this weird fucking next world power. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It's something weird about Inoue. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you could believe in the hype for the moment. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could believe in the hype for the moment, I guess. You know what I mean? But something's weird about Inoue. I gotta agree with you on that. I just think it says that's true. I just think it says, why would Ryan need to be on PEDs to beat pillow fisted Devin? That's my question, my bro. That's my question. Right? Why didn't he come in at 140? You got it, brother. You got it. The haters out there, they be saying, oh, Devin Haney pillow fisted, right? So why Ryan need to come in 143? Why do you need PEDs to beat this dude? Because he didn't believe he could beat him. Otherwise, that's why, my brother. That's why, my brother. You asked the right question. Right? And we see what Devin was going to do to his ass. Had it been that they both came in 140 and he wasn't using PEDs, he'd have put a whoop ass on this motherfucker. And he knows that. He knows that. He knows that. So he had to cheat. He had to cheat. Fucker dirty as fuck. He had to cheat to come in. Anyways, I'll talk to you enough about that. So let me get into the other part of what we're supposed to talk about, because I'm on 30 minutes already. I can't believe I talk so much. Shout out to Coach RJ Jenkins. I would have loved to have you in on here, but at this present point in time, I'm not using StreamYard. They kind of limited how much I have to actually pay for the StreamYard if I want. You know, StreamYard is free, but I had to pay for it to get some more minutes. So I'm on here on YouTube talking about this shit. So Mr. Tank Davis, man, Tank now, all of a sudden Tank, he rolling up on people and shit like that, right? He rolling up, but he not looking at them in their face. He not looking at them in their face. He rolling up though. Kudos to him on that. He got a little bit more brave. You know what I mean? You got to fight with Frank Martin. You know, Devin Haney gonna have a fight with Sando Martin somewhere down this year. So 2 Martins. You better watch out for Frank though. That motherfucker might be cheating as well. Frank look big as fuck. So that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yo, you said exactly the same thing I was just thinking. RJ Jenkins, Tank better be careful against Frank Martin. Yeah, because that motherfucker would be cheating too. You know, Ryan Garcia came from a cheating camp with Canelo and Oscar Valdez, and even Luis Neri, when he was in that camp, was cheating and using something, right? And I don't know if they have VADA testing or any kind of testing for Luis Neri versus Naoya Inoue. So chemical labs everywhere. But I'm agreeing with you, bro, because I don't even know if Derek James, his camp is clean. Because I got lots of questions, because there's no way Derek James couldn't realize that something was different about Ryan Garcia. And I was hearing Bernard Hopkins talking about, oh, he's smoking people in there. He's knocking out people left, right, and center. So they must know some shit going on. They must know. They're experienced people. They're experienced boxers. They can size up a boxer and know something ain't right with that boxer. And I hope Floyd wasn't involved in this, because if Floyd was involved, he's a dirty piece of shit too, right? He was advocating that Ryan come in overweight, that motherfucker, from the get-go. So they devised a plan, a foolproof plan, which involved cheating to be able to beat Devin. It was a conspiracy by Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, and Ryan Garcia. So I'm not going to be shocked that these motherfuckers knew that Ryan was doping. They probably knew. And they felt they had a foolproof way for him to get away. And the distraction was Ryan would be crazy and all of this and stuff. So it would be a distraction so they could pull off their shit. That's what I feel really happened. RJ Jenkins says, Tank even said Frank's arms are too big for 135-pound weight class. Exactly the same thing like Ryan. It's the same shit going on. I agree. They're going to try and use that blueprint against Tank. Bruh. And VADA's testing both of them, I think. I don't know if there's VADA testing going on here. So some weird shit going on, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Once I hear somebody's doping, fuck that person. That person shouldn't have no career in boxing. I don't know why the fuck Jarrell Miller's still in boxing. Right? That card that they calling the greatest card ever has a cheater on it in fucking Jarrell Miller facing Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz never cheated, as far as I know. He's never been caught cheating, but he has been in Canelo camp, so you never know. You know what I'm saying? But you know, these people, man, Jarrell Miller should have no career in boxing. This fucker been dirty multiple times. Conor Ben should have no fucking future in boxing. Tyson Fury should have no future in boxing. And I said again, I'll repeat it. I'm doubling it down. Tyson Fury's been caught using nandrolone, the same shit, the same androgen that Ryan Garcia's been caught with. That nandrolone was found in supposedly tainted meat, wild meat. That fucker. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury shouldn't have even had a fight with Deontay Wilder. But they, the system, white is right. If this was a black person, it's a totally different story. When they like you, they like you. When they don't like you, they don't like you. Dillian White should never have been cleared. That motherfucker was dirty. I think Conor Ben is banned in the UK, though. I think he's banned in the UK, but I think he can fight other places. So he's fighting in the US and in Saudi Arabia, but I think he's banned in the UK. That motherfucker's a cheater. You'll fucking cheat. All right? Alicia Baumgartner, cheater. Okay? It's what it is. If you've been found dirty, you cheated. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because it's not by chance those things happen. RJ Jenkins says, didn't B-Hub try to put something on Tank back at the face-off with Ryan? Yes. Dirty ass motherfucker. Yes, he's dirty. He's a dirty guy. And the Tank said, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm going to say this. I don't like Bernard Hopkins. He don't do nothing for the culture. And he a dirty motherfucker. He dirty. He'll use all kinds of dirty tactics. So I know he had to be behind. I'm pretty sure it was Floyd. Floyd, I never viewed Floyd as a dirty motherfucker, but he obviously is. He obviously is. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that Tank is doing. At least he's calling out Devin. Do I think he will face Devin Haney? I think he might, but I think it's a big risk for him to go up to 140 because Devin gonna have all the advantages in terms of size and weight at 140. And don't get it twisted. Devin got dropped 3 times, got back up, completed the fight, was walking down Ryan. If that ain't tell you the mentality of Devin Haney and how bad that motherfucker is, y'all gonna. So if Tank thinks he gonna just roll up on Devin and beat him, I have those little clips in the gym where he beat on Devin. Maybe he'll have those moments, maybe he won't. But what I could tell you is he now got the guts and courage to be big bad Tank, and he rolling up on Devin and supposedly rolling up on Devin, right? So make the fight happen. You know what I mean? I'd love to see it end of this year or beginning of the next year. The first thing beginning of next year. Let make that fight happen. You know what I mean? That's a good fight. That's a big fight. That's a huge fight. But that fight ain't happening at 135. And I could see Tank waiting on it. Inoue Inoue, but like I said before, Inoue Inoue, I don't think he operating kosher. They got the strict VADA testing, and you got to make sure this motherfucker don't dodge the bullet. Like, you can still come out clean from a VADA test. You could kind of beat the system if you know what exactly to do. So, you try your best. You know what I mean? But I think Inoue's still too small for Tank. But, Tank might go down to 135 just to make that fight with Inoue, which would be a huge fight. It's still not as big. It won't be as big as Tank versus Devin because people know Devin Haney in the Western world. People know Devin Haney. They don't really know Inoue. Inoue's only fought mostly in Japan, so they don't really know him like that. I mean, but that's what we're talking about here. Now, Inoue got dropped by Luis Neri, as you know, came back to drop Luis Neri two times afterwards, and stop him. Me personally, I think that Luis Neri wasn't a better fighter than Stephen Fulton. I thought Stephen Fulton was a much better fighter than Luis Neri. But having said that, it is what it is, people saying there's a chink in Inoue's armor. I don't know if there's a chink in his armor. I'll tell you this: as he continues to fight bigger and bigger guys, we're gonna see if he got the Pacquiao effect, meaning if he gets stronger and stronger. Because if the Pacquiao effect is in effect, you know he's using something, and it's all about getting the proper testing. I would say VADA test him and USADA test him. Use a combination of testing agencies to test this motherfucker. That way he can't get away. You know, um, and we'll see if he's really the real deal or not. If he ends up facing Tank down the road, he's not gonna face Tank right now. Tank does not look the same size he usually is. He looked like he making weight and everything. He kind of bone dry. He's much smaller, but I got to tell you, he got skills, he got abilities, and once he knows what he's going in against, Devin didn't know he was going in against a doper. That was a shock to him. Tank and his team, because of Mayweather and all of that, Leonard Ellaby and all those guys, they look out for Tank. So Tank team gonna make sure and keep an eagle eye on what's going on with Frank Martin to make sure that motherfucker come in. Even if the playing field's not equal and this motherfucker is doping for real, Tank will know what to do and how to handle him. Like Tank ain't gonna just go in there and try and trade shot for shot. I think he'll pick him apart and then crash him and get him out of there for his doping. If he's doping, Tank's I would say Tank fought Devin much smarter than Devin fought. Tank fought Ryan much smarter than Ryan fought. Tank fought Ryan smarter than Devin fought Ryan. Devin was just like trying to dog him, trying to outpower him, and that didn't make no sense. I mean, the dude's bigger, stronger than you. He just is. And yes, you was moving him back with the jab and everything, but you wasn't respecting his power like that. I know you got out of the way of 2, 3, 4, 5 of his shots, but you let him hit you with the money shot. He was letting him hit him with a money shot quite often. And when a guy's that much bigger than you and that much more, and you can see Devin didn't really respect Ryan. He really didn't have no respect for him. And he even didn't seem to have respect for his power. He just didn't seem to have respect. That wasn't a fight that, as Floyd said, you saw Devin fight a fight that you don't normally see Devin fight. And you saw Ryan fight a fight that you didn't normally see Ryan fight. And the only difference is Ryan could not put away Devin. He just couldn't put away Devin. You know what I mean? He couldn't put him away. And that says volumes about Devin. Y'all say Devin don't have no chin. Well, if he ain't got no chin, why didn't Ryan put him away? And people say, well, the referee got in between. I mean, the referee got involved in some stuff that I was like annoyed. I was like, what the fuck is the referee getting away for here? Why is he stopping the fight? Like he stopped the fight for, I can't remember why, and for no reason at all. He just kind of stopped the fight. And I think somebody's glove or some shit. I can't remember what. Oh, no. He wanted to wipe the ground or some shit like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? And Devin was like, what the fuck? Ryan was like, what the fuck? Why you just stop the fight and you wipe the ground, whatever? And I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that the referee was on Devin's side, because at certain points in time, he actually warned Devin, for those of you who don't know. He warned the corner. When he went to the corner, he warned Devin for clinching. And then Ryan started clinching. You know what I mean? But the referee tried to do the best he could to contain the situation. I'm pretty sure that the referee, on looking at the size of Ryan and looking at the size of Devin, he realized I need to protect this dude, the smaller guy, because he knew something was up. I could tell that the referee knew something was up, something was weird. And so he was like, you know what, I'm gonna protect this fighter, right? So I do believe he did try to protect Devin when Devin was clinching and falling down on the ground and shit. Ryan didn't hit him with no punches. That's bullshit. But I could see he wanted to make sure that Ryan didn't just hit Devin with any old shot. And I think that's what people were seeing. But I think it's what the referee was seeing in there. He was watching this dude, Ryan, who looked like he was 3 times the size of Devin. It looked like Incredible Hulk compared to Devin. And then on top of that, he's looking at this and he said, something ain't right here. So he he didn't want Ryan unnecessarily hitting Devin, like, way he hit him on the break. He immediately nipped that in the bud by hitting him a point. He took away a point from him. He didn't warn him nothing. He immediately took away a point from him. And I think the reason that happened was because he was like, nah, this motherfucker, he could kill this other dude. I got to watch out for this other dude. So I think that's what y'all saw. I don't think that the referee was paid or anything to protect Devin. And the reason I'm saying that is because Golden Boy was primarily the promoter on this. the scorecards were skewed towards Ryan tremendously because of Golden Boy, I believe. So that's why Ryan got that 115, 111 or some kind of bullshit like that, which no way Ryan Garcia won 9 rounds to 3. No way Ryan Garcia won 8 rounds to 4. You cannot see that in this fight. Just, it wasn't that kind of fight. You could have given him 7 rounds to 5, possibly, but or you could give him 6-6 maybe, or not even 7 rounds to 5. I think because Devin won the majority of the rounds. I think you could give him like 6-6, or you could give him like 7-5, which would be a draw. So, I just look at this. So 113, 111 would have been fair where Ryan won, or a draw. In which Devin would have just gotten a draw. But it wouldn't have mattered because Ryan popped dirty. So it doesn't matter. It don't matter that Ryan knocked him down 6 times. It don't matter that Ryan had a good game plan. It don't matter that Devin Haney was overly aggressive. It don't matter. None of that matters now. Because Ryan fucked that all up by coming in there a drug cheat. The ultimate cheater. The one cheater that I despise. The one cheater I cannot live. I can't. No, because this affects the health of the opponent that being beaten on. It's the one thing I can't make an excuse for. You're a fucking cheat. Canelo would cheat. Cheater. Fucking Jarrell Miller's a cheater. Tyson Fury's a cheater. Oscar Valdez is a fucking cheater. I'm not defending cheaters. I just will not do it. If you're a PD, Alicia Baumgartner is a cheater. Andre Berta was a cheater. We must never have no kind of respect for cheaters in boxing. No kind of respect. Watch you shady from there on, because you shady motherfucker. You have to go in there. You have to cheat to go in there and do what you do. Anyways, the other thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Saudis' influence in boxing, and it's big. You see, right now we're hearing that the Sheik is trying to get Terrence Crawford versus David Benavidez. Mad Chad Sports Tavern says Victor Conte, the greatest cheater of all. Oh, that was 20 years ago, buddy. It's 20 years ago. The Balco scandal. 20 years ago. And he was a fucking cheater. I'm not gonna say no. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say no. But to say he's the greatest cheater of all, fuck no. No. I don't care about that shit. Now, if this motherfucker right now exposing how motherfuckers cheat, and he's now like one of those, he's become a whistleblower for people who cheat. I ain't got a problem with that, because he can explain to you how this guy cheat, how that guy cheat. He can explain to you why this guy looks shady, why that guy don't look shady. But you guys need to also notice that and be able to pick it up for yourselves and do your knowledge as well. You know what I mean? Mad Chad Sports Tavern saying, why Snack not in the NBA, NFL, MLB Olympics? Because Victor ran cheat. Well, first of all, Snack's a private company, and some people are Snack strong in the UFC. We got people who are Snack strong in track and field, like you just said. We have people who are Snack strong in boxing. We have people who are Snack strong in kickboxing, etc., etc., etc. So the Snack program is very prolific, and it's doing very, very well. And you look at the ingredients, which have been tested, FDA approved, etc., and so far it's been above board. So, Mad Chad Sports Tavern says Olympics, no Snack. Actually, no, that's wrong. The Snack program is a private program, so you could choose to use Snack for. It's not representative of Olympic athletes. Like, it's not the official. Snack is not the official nothing for nothing. It's a private company, so Snack's not official products for boxing. It's not official products for any sport. But athletes who use snack products, they advertise snack. So that's all. So you can have athletes who are in the Olympics or whatever, and they advertise snack. There's nothing wrong with that. And so far, the snack products that are being sold on the marketplace do not have PEDs in them. They've been tested and everything, and they don't have PEDs in them. So that's just what that is. If it comes out LeBron was on snack, imagine that. It doesn't mean shit, bro. It's not about being on snack. You're using snack products. They're actually snack products are on the market shelves. They are inside of supplemental stores. You can go buy snack products online. You can go buy snack products in stores. They're literally products you and I can purchase if you didn't know, homie. So it's different what Victor Conte is doing. He's actually above board being very legitimate. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna put my head on a block for him. I don't know if he's still not doing shady shit. I know, for example, Memo Heredia was the guy that was training Juan Manuel Marquez to face Manny Pacquiao. He did some shady shit. I'm pretty sure Marquez was using synthetic testosterone and HGH hormone when he faced Manny Pacquiao. So Angel Heredia, I don't really know about him. And he was one of those guys involved in the Balco scandal as well. But with respect to Victor Conte, I can't say. I can't say that he's continued his old ways. But snack products and the snack program, etc., that is actually a legitimate program as far as I can see and know, and the products, because they're on shelves in stores. So, and they've been FDA approved. So it's different. Now, with respect to maybe he is still cheating with elite athletes, he's got some little something in the lab somewhere, secretly back somewhere. He uses it. You never know. This dude, you just never know. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to vouch, put my head on a block for him, but I'm going to say this. The products that he has, the snack program that he has, face value and so on, has been tested and approved and so on. It's gone through the whole process. So in that respect, that is legitimate. Now, I don't know what he might be doing things underground in the dark. Who knows? And with certain athletes, who knows? But as far as I can see, when it comes to these athletes and their performances, he ain't doing much. Look, Demetrius Andre fought David Benavidez, didn't he not? He was on the snack program. There's a lot of PBC fighters. There's a lot of fighters, period, who are on the snack program, period. Okay. Mikey Garcia was a snack guy. Terrence Crawford, he's with snack. He's been with snack for a while now. Errol Spence been with has Errol Spence been with snack? Errol Spence has not been with snack. That's interesting. You got Caleb Plant. He's with snack. Been with snack for a long, long time. Okay. What's his name? Sean Porter was with snack for a period of time, I do believe. Ryan Garcia has been with snack for a little bit of time. You have who else has been with snack? A lot of fighters been with snack, man. So for people to say these fighters are juicing, well, here's the thing. What has snack actually done for these fighters that made them exceptionally, what has it done? I don't know. But what I can tell you is when it comes to their power, didn't really do much for their power. You know what I mean? When it comes to their strength, okay, you see them stronger athletes. You do see them being stronger, better endurance, etc. When you look at a snack in terms of what the program, in terms of what it's done for the athletes, otherwise, it does things for them. It does do things for them, but to say that it's some significant wow factor, like what happened, like the wow performances that we see with Ryan Garcia, or the wow performance we see with Inoue and Inoue, we don't see that. With the wow performance we see with Gennady Golovkin or Sergey Kovalev, we don't see that. And that's what I'm trying to say. The wild performance that Tyson Fury had against Deontay Wilder, the second fight, something was wrong. You knew something was wrong. We'd never seen Tyson Fury do that to anybody. You know what I mean? So you have to ask yourself these questions, man. You must ask yourself, Luis Ortiz used to just be knocking out people left, right, and center. Then we come to understand he was doping. You know what I'm saying? So in order to get that kind of wow performance, that tremendous performance, you never seen that fighter do before. Mickey Bay. I remember Mickey Bay went and knocked out the Japanese kid. Then we found out he popped dirty for testosterone. Mickey Bay was not known for those kinds of performances. So you got to ask yourself that question. Victor Conte, from what I know, I know of one fighter who popped dirty when Victor Conte was with him, and that was Andre Berto. Andre Berto. You know what I mean? But to say that, and Andre Berto, I think he knocked out the guy or whatever. Or no, I don't even think the fight went to think because he got caught. So, yeah, Mosley had a lot of wild performances, but he was with Victor Conte back in 2000, I believe, and 3 when he was using the clear. Apparently, Shane Mosley was using the clear. Again, a lot of wild performances from Shane Mosley. You get what I'm saying? You got to be able to pay attention. So you look at the corrupt Victor Conte 20-something years ago, and you look at the Victor Conte now and his track record with athletes and boxers, and you see something different. You see something different. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you're actually making my point for me that this guy seems to be above the level, better than Mauricio Herrera. Not Mauricio, Angel Heredia. Okay, Angel Heredia still to me is a shady dude. I'm sorry, I just can't get past that. But when it comes to like Victor Conte, I think Victor Conte, for the most part, been above board. You know what I mean? He's been above board. Check Victor's right-hand man, Remy Coach Memi, Soviet drug chief. But my point is, you ain't seen nobody doing the performances like the Soviets been doing. You ain't seen nobody doing the performances like Sergey Kovalov and them guys. You get what I'm saying? He's a cheat. He's a drug cheat, obviously. That guy's but I don't know if Victor Conte's right-hand man is that dude anymore. Like I said, Victor Conte now, he worked with Snack. I don't know about that dude. You know what I'm saying? No Olympics for Victor. Again, it's a private company. So it's whoever wants, if an athlete wants to use the Snack products, they use the Snack product. If they want to advertise Snack, they advertise Snack. It's a private company. It's not about getting contracts with, it's not like VADA. VADA is an official, is officially the anti-doping agency that works with the WBC, that sanctioning body. Victor Conte has no contract like that with any organization, not with the UFC, not with the PBC, not with any organization. He basically advertises through individuals who promote his products. And he's been doing quite well with that. Legitimately speaking, he's been doing very, very well. So why would he want to go illegitimate? Because guess what? If they ever catch his ass doing anything, remember, the CIA, the FBI, the anti-doping agents, USADA, they caught him. He goes and he fucks around and does that and gets caught again. He's going to federal prison. Okay, he's going to federal prison. All right, so because he's a high-profile guy and they always watching his ass. They're always watching his ass. Okay, so if Conte make a mistake and slip up, he gone. He gone. Okay. But having said that, yeah, Ryan Garcia though, he's been caught. Y'all talking about Victor Conte. Ryan Garcia's been caught doping. Okay. And Victor Conte could tell you how he got caught. He could tell you what he was doping or what he thinks he was doping. He could tell you all of that. You don't have to take his word for it. You could always cross-reference that with other people who have been in the business who catch these guys and stuff. But he's not wrong. I'm from a biochemical background, as well as I could tell you this is known information in the sporting world. Okay, this is not nothing. He ain't saying nothing that nobody don't know. You know what I'm saying? So Paulie Malignaggi has been talking about this all the time. Chris Algieri went and did a breakdown pretty much on the similar lines of what Victor Conte said. But he put it as a possibility amongst other possibilities. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you guys to know, Victor Conte ain't saying nothing. He ain't said nothing to me that was wrong or false or a lie. All right, so I was talking about the Saudis' influence in boxing, and they're really making it a difference. They're talking about David Benavidez versus Terrence Crawford. That's a possible fight. Some people say Benavidez is going up to 175. He's not going to come down to 168 anymore. He'll be drained, blah, 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 blah. David Benavidez said if the opportunity presented itself for Canelo to face him at 168, he would. So other people are saying that Canelo Alvarez, I was listening to a private channel, and he was saying, like, Canelo has almost got like 3 fights in his career, and then he should get out the business. He doing like Floyd, he's not going to take on these young bucks. The problem with that is this. You got the number one 168-pounder in the 168-pound division, who is your mandatory for WBC title, and you have been avoiding his ass for 2-3 years. That's the problem. The man's in line to get what he's supposed to get. Floyd never had that situation, right? Floyd, the mandatory for Floyd's belt was Keith Thurman. Then Keith Thurman got elevated to regular champion while Floyd was the super champion, so that Floyd could be cleared to face Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman became Floyd's mandatory because Floyd beat Marcos Maidana. Keith Thurman was in line to face Marcos Maidana for the title. Floyd rematched Marcos Maidana, and then after that, Keith Thurman was pressing to try and get the mandatory for Floyd. Floyd was pressing to try and get the Manny Pacquiao fight, so the WBA made Floyd super champion, made Keith Thurman graduated from interim to regular champion so that Floyd could face Manny Pacquiao and have that big fight. After Floyd had beaten Manny Pacquiao, Floyd was still the WBA super champion. Okay? And the fight, but Keith Thurman was not the mandatory for Floyd Mayweather at the time. So Keith Thurman ended up not facing Floyd. I wish Floyd had faced Keith Thurman then, but it is what it is. Floyd had already proved himself by beating the biggest guy in boxing who everybody said he would never face, which was Manny Pacquiao. Okay? This is not the same situation with Canelo. Canelo ain't got nobody. Right? He just faced Javier Munguia, who nobody thought was going to beat him. Well, I guess some people thought he was going to beat him, but I didn't. I never felt that way. I thought Floyd would have stopped Munguia. He ended up carrying him to the 12th round, and I believe Canelo carried him. I really do believe that because he dropped him easy. Dropped him easy in the 3rd round. Just combobulated him and shit, and he never really came back to that combination. He never put that combination together on him after that, which was very interesting. But he was chopping him down to the body, hitting him with some nasty body shots. But Canelo was fully in control of that fight, in my opinion. And I don't understand why Canelo doesn't want to face David Benavidez. I think he has a very good chance of beating David Benavidez. As much as David Benavidez, I think, though, would give him a hell of a fight. A much, much more difficult fight than Jaime Munguia. But more importantly, David Benavidez earned a shot. David Benavidez should be facing Canelo Alvarez next. They're talking about Jamal Charlo facing Canelo, which, Jamal Charlo facing Canelo. They're talking about, some really bummy guy. What's his name? Serious bum. Whatever the guy's name is that's on DAZN, the Puerto Rican kid. They're talking about he facing Canelo, and I'm like, what? Are you serious? Are you serious? I forgot what the kid's name is. Them guys ain't gonna beat Canelo. You want somebody with some experience. Why not David Benavidez? You beat David Benavidez, you ain't got to do shit after that. You'd have beaten everybody. Clean it up. Finish it off. You undisputed. Well, act like an undisputed champion and face the dude he's supposed to face. They're talking about, that, Canelo versus David Benavidez. David Benavidez is too big for Canelo. Canelo should say, well, this is my price to facing David Benavidez. Listen, face David Benavidez. That's what the people want to see. Right now, the way our Canelo's behaving makes us wonder, man. Makes us just seriously wonder what is going on. Yeah, what is going on? Why you don't want to face David Benavidez? I don't get it. I don't get it. That's what I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I simply don't get it. If it's a problem to face David Benavidez, if it's a problem to face David Benavidez, you know what I mean, then you can't call yourself undisputed. All right. David Benavidez is like the Manny Pacquiao for Canelo Alvarez. He like the Manny Pacquiao Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? You like Canelo Alvarez's Manny, you like Floyd Mayweather's Manny Pacquiao. This is the guy people want you to see. They want to see if he can whoop your ass. Oh, David Benavidez is too big. He's not too big. Don't do that. He makes 168-pound division. He's not too big. Stop that excuse. You're supposed to be a warrior. I proved myself. No, you ain't proved yourself. You're undisputed, and you've been hedging and hoeing and hogging and avoiding this guy. You've been avoiding this kid. And again, I feel like you would beat him. I think you have all the tools to beat him. So I don't get why you don't want to go in the ring against David Benavidez. That's what I just don't get. Make no sense to me. None. The kid is offering whatever you want. Let's get in there and rumble. And we don't need no rehydration clause. We don't need no rehydration clause. Canelo talking about, oh, I could go up to cruiserweight and beat cruiserweights. Okay, well, here's a cruiserweight. In the ring, at least, on fight night, he's going to be a cruiserweight. You will be a light heavyweight, right? He's going to be 190-something pounds, almost 200 pounds, right? You're going to be 170-something, 180, right? So what? So what? Okay? Get in there and do what you do. Be you. He gonna throw a lot of you throw a lot of volume, but you can. We seen what he did, what Canelo did with Jaime Munguia. We saw Canelo limit Jaime Munguia's punch out. Jaime Munguia, of course, being an inexperienced fighter, starting too fast and all of that, right? David Benavidez, he flourishes down the stretch. Canelo generally fades down the stretch sometimes, right? David Benavidez is a true 168-pounder. All right? Yeah, it'll be a tough fight, but you have veteran experience. You're going to be the smarter fighter in there. You're more versatile than, well, you're sort of more versatile than David Benavidez now. This is the time. David Benavidez is in his prime. You in your prime. Well, you're kind of in your prime. Kind of more on the end of your prime. Show the young buck, Mayweather him. Show the young buck that you're on another level. Get right out of there. How many times did Mayweather prove himself? How many times? Look at all the fights Mayweather had. He had the Cotto fight. He had the fight with you. He had the Maidana fight. He had the Pacquiao fight. And he was not in his prime. Okay? And nobody asked for the Munguia fight. Nobody asked for it. People have been asking for the Cotto fight. People was asking for your fight with Floyd. All right? Marcos Maidana, he came out and beat Broner, so people was asking for the Maidana fight. People was asking for the Pacquiao fight for God knows how long. And he made that happen. So when he took the Berto fight, because there was nobody else out on the horizon, it was the next generation. It was Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, Sean Porter, who just got beat by Kell Brook. You know, those were the guys. All right? So Floyd was like, he told Keith Thurman, go face Errol Spence. Keith Thurman didn't want to face Errol Spence. Okay. We know who ducking who. Canelo don't want to face David Benavidez. David Benavidez not interested in facing David Morrell. We know how it go. We know how it go. Okay. So Canelo versus David Benavidez. Make that fucking fight happen, man. Make that fight happen. That's the fight we want to see. I am what you need. We are an hour and 15 minutes, 11 seconds in. You guys now dictate what I'm going to talk about next. You guys got a little time on your hands. So I'm going to repeat what I said already. If you want to donate to this channel, you can donate via PayPal. The link is in the chat as well as in the description. But you can like, share, subscribe. I took an hour and 15 minutes and 34 seconds, talking about this thing. They tend to talk this long, but that's it for this stream. So if you guys ain't got nothing else, I'm what you need. Peace.